You've been there, right? You're an experienced sailor, you feel like you should have won that race, but somehow you lost. Well, the reason often isn't your boat speed. It's a fundamental mistake in how you see the course. See, too many of us rely on gut feelings when we should be relying on pure geometry. Today, we're going to fix that. We're replacing all that guesswork with one single powerful concept that will completely change how you read the wind and the fleet forever.
It all kicks off with this common scenario, an illusion that tricks even the absolute sharpest tactical minds out there. You see it on every single upwind leg, a situation where what your eyes are telling you and what's actually happening are two totally different things.
All right, let's start with a quick puzzle. The wind's steady, but the windward mark is way over on the left side of the course. Boat A can sail a nice, long tack almost directly to it. Meanwhile, Boat B has to slug it out, making a whole bunch of tacks to get there. The question is simple. Which boat sails the shorter distance?
And the answer is, the distances are identical. I know, it feels wrong, but the geometry here is undeniable. Since every boat sails at a fixed angle to the wind, the actual distance you cover to make progress upwind, to climb up the course, is the same whether you do it in 1 tack or 10. Boat B only loses because of the time it takes to tack, not because it sailed a longer distance. And that is the core illusion that costs sailors races.
So, this is the crucial point. To win, you have to stop looking at the mark. Seriously, the mark is just a distraction. Instead, you need to start seeing this invisible grid that's laid out over the entire race course. You need to draw a virtual ladder in your mind.
And here's the concept at the heart of it all, ladder rungs. These are just imaginary lines on the water that run perfectly perpendicular to the wind. See, sailing upwind isn't about pointing at a buoy, it's about climbing this ladder. And the most important rule of all is that every boat, no matter if they're on the left or the right, travels the exact same distance to get from one rung to the next.
Your eyes can and absolutely will deceive you, especially when you're way out on the edges of the course. The position of the mark creates all sorts of optical illusions. But this mental grid, this ladder, it's an objective reality. It just doesn't lie.
And the first payoff for seeing this ladder is immediate. You can instantly and accurately tell who's ahead and who's behind, no matter where they are. All you have to do is ask yourself, who is on the higher ladder rung?
Okay, let's try it out. Take a look at these two boats. They're pretty far apart. They're converging. And just by looking, it's a tough call to make. But if we overlay our ladder rungs, which remember are perpendicular to the wind, suddenly the answer is obvious. The red boat is clearly on a higher rung than the blue boat. Red is ahead. It is really that simple.
So let's just compare the two methods. Judging your position based on the mark? It's deceptive. It leads to bad tactical calls. But judging your position on the ladder? That's objective. It's accurate, and it works everywhere on the course, from the starting line to the finish line. It's the difference between guessing and knowing.
And this brilliant little tool has some really practical immediate uses. You can use it to find the favored end of the starting line. It's just the end that's on the higher ladder rung. You can use it, like we just saw, to instantly know who's ahead in any crossing situation. And crucially, you can use it to figure out the true lifted tack, which is based on your angle to the wind, not your angle to the mark.
But now we get to its most powerful application. This is where the ladder rung concept goes from being a really useful tool to being an absolute race-winning weapon. This is how you master wind shifts.
So let's set the stage. We've got two boats, Boat A and Boat B. They're on opposite sides of the course, but as you can see, they are on the exact same ladder rung. At this very moment, they are perfectly, geometrically even. And here it is. This is the single most important rule for upwind strategy. This is not a suggestion. It's not a guideline. It is pure geometry. You must always position your boat to sail toward the direction of the next expected wind shift. And let me show you exactly why.
So let's say the forecast, or maybe the clouds on the horizon tell you the wind is about to shift to the right. A persistent righty is coming in.
The moment that wind shifts, the entire ladder pivots right along with it. Why? Because remember our rule. The rungs are always perpendicular to the wind. The whole geometric grid of the race course has just tilted.
And here's the incredible result. Look at that chart. Boat B, the one positioned on the right side of the course, was instantly lifted a full ladder rung ahead of Boat A. They were dead even just seconds ago. Now Boat B has a massive lead, and they gained it with zero difference in boat speed. That is pure geometric strategy. So, the tactical rule is dead simple. Step 1, the boat closest to where the new wind is coming from gains the most. Step 2, The boat that's farthest away loses the most. And step 3, if you're in the middle of the fleet, you're playing it safe. You're minimizing your potential gains, but also your potential losses. This is exactly how you manage risk and reward out on the water.
So what we've really done here is we've transformed racecourse strategy from, a gut feeling, from a sense of what might be right, into a clear, logical, geometric process.
So this is your new tactical edge. You can now objectively figure out the favored end of the line. You can instantly know who's ahead or behind. You can correctly identify the lifted tack. And most importantly, you can position yourself to capitalize on wind shifts and make huge gains. You're finally making decisions with geometric certainty, not just guesswork.
Look, this isn't just some simple tip or trick for one situation. It's a completely new operating system for your tactical brain. Once you start seeing the ladder, you literally can't unsee it. Every single decision becomes clearer, more confident, and more correct.
So you now hold the geometric key to the upwind leg. But that brings up a really fascinating final question. Downwind, the geometry is different. To gain the most, should you apply the same rule and sail toward the next shift, or should you do the exact opposite? Think about it. The answer, as always, lies in the geometry.